greatest devotee in the whole of Pune city. Okay, chalo, if not, at least NVCC Ganaj. Okay, if not, at least in this home show twice. If not, at least in my department. If not, at least in my heart. So this kind of nonsense is not appropriate. So that will all go away. So he's saying, he says, if you do this, Punarapi, before that he says, Kabuna Badive Tomara Vishaya Taranga. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling to that Kurma Brahman, his name is also Kurma, and the place he belongs to is also Kurma Kshetra. Kurma Kshetra was resided by Kurma Brahman. So Mahaprabhu told him that Kabuna Badive Tomara Vishaya Taranga. You will never be touched by the waves of sense objects. There are so many waves of sense objects around us. For our eyes, beautiful forms are available. Unlimited beautiful forms. Anywhere you go. For ears, melodious sounds are there. For tongue, palatable dishes. For nose, fragrant items are there. And for skin also, very relishable, whatever, touch sensations are there. So these will not be able to disturb you. How many of you get disturbed by these beautiful forms, sounds, etc.? All of us will disturb. But he's saying, Kabuna, never. Kabuna Vadivi Kamar Vishaya Taranga. These waves of sense objects will never disturb you. And one more, that means Maya cannot touch you. Next. Punarapi Thai Ave Mora Sangha. And in this place only you will have an association. In this place, Kurmakshetra, in your own place. You don't have to go all around the world. No. Wherever you are, you will get the association of the Lord. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the return journey of Mahaprabhu from South India, there is no discussion, no description of Mahaprabhu meeting this Brahman again. Though he followed the same track. He went all the way up to Nasik, Trambakeshwar, the origin of Godavari. And by the bank of Godavari he went. He went like this, South India, all the way Kanyakumari and all this up like this. But after reaching Trambakeshwar, he went by the way of, by the bank of Godavari. So that doesn't go again through Tamil Nadu and all. It takes little shortcut, Andhra Pradesh and then eventually Rajmundry. And that's where he met again Ramananda. But then after that, the same course was followed. Then that Kurmakshetra place comes. But there is no discussion about him meeting Kurma Brahman. But sure enough, he definitely, the Kurma Brahman definitely experienced Lord. Not in Lord's return journey, but every day, every moment. Whenever he followed that principle, that order given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Jare Dekho Tare Kaho, Krishna Upadesh, Amara Agya Guru Haya, Tare Hitesh. He kept on preaching throughout his life as a Grihastha. And thus he experienced Mahaprabhu's presence at every moment. So we will not be disturbed if we do this. And much before this also, this is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken sannyas. After 1510 to 1512, for these 2 years, Mahaprabhu travelled in south part of India. That is called as Dakshin Bharat Yatra of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, South Indian tour. But before that only, when he was acting as a Grihastha, he was acting as Nimai Pandit, a great scholar in Navadvip. So there, before he was a big scholar, not revealing himself as a devotee, but after he went to Gaya and got initiated by his spiritual master, Ishwar Puri, when he came back, he revealed himself as a devotee, as a great devotee of Lord Krishna, mad after Krishna in the form of Kirtan mainly. So then he would go and preach in different towns. He would sing the holy name. That the song is there. Udila Aruna Purava Bhage Trijamani Gaura Amani Jage Bhakata Samuhalaya Sadhe Gela Nagara Braje. Udila Aruna Purava Bhage. Early morning when the sun would rise, Trijamani, the best of the Brahmins, Gaura, his name is Gaura, Amani Jage, he would get up. So in East India, the Bengalis, sun rises quite early. Don't think that sun would rise 7 o'clock, so Mahaprabhu would get up at 7. No. The sun rises almost 4:45 by only. You can see Mayapur temple. Now, Mangalati is not even over, and you can see daylight to great extent. So Mahaprabhu would get up and Bhakata Samoha Laya Sathe. He would take all his associates, devotees, Nityan Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Thakur, Haridas Thakur, Shuklambar Brahmachari, Purushottamacharya, and a number of devotees. They would go in different peoples, islands of Navadvip. They would go to Simantadvip, Antardvip, Godrupdvip, Modrupdvip, Madhyadvip, then Rutudvip, Janudvip, Koladvip, Modrumdvip, and all these 9 islands. and he would sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Requesting everyone, inducing everyone to chant the holy name of the Lord. But he just did not stop there with Harinam Sankirtan. He wanted his followers also to preach one-to-one basis also with people in public. So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says one day he called Nityanprabhu and Haridas Thakur and rather instructed them, ordered them. Shuno Shuno Nityananda, Shuno Haridas, Amara Agya Sarvatra Karaho Prakash, Prati Ghare Ghare Gya Mago Ye Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna, Shiksha. Shuno Nityan. Oh, Nityan, please hear me. Shuno Haridas, so Haridas, you also please hear. Both of them. These are the top preachers of Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan army. Nityan Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. Amar Agya Sarvatra Karo Prakash. You please release this order of mine, reveal it, manifest it everywhere. What? Prati Ghare Ghare Gya. Go to each and every house. Knock the door. Mago ye Viksha. So what would happen? They would knock the door of the householders' houses in Navadvip. When the gentleman inside the Grasta, you would open the door, you would find nobody in front. Why? But they are both prostrated themselves on the ground. Ashtang Pranam. See, when do we pay Ashtang Pranam? Only to sannyasis, not otherwise. Here he is a Grasta. And who is paying, by the way? The one whom we pay obeisances, millions of obeisances, all throughout our life we keep paying obeisances. Nityanpur and Haribosam. They both are paying not Panchang Pranam, Ashtanga Pranam. And that person would say, hey, come on, sir, what are you doing? Please get up, stand up. What is this? Your humility is breaking my heart. Please don't offer Ashtanga Pranam. This is meant only for sannyasi. Then this person is already favorable in one sense because he is not liking them paying, giving them so much risk, giving him so much respect. And as they would get up, then they would say, oh Lord, oh my dear Master, please chant the holy name of the Lord. Krishna is your father, Krishna is your mother, Krishna is the life and wealth of your life. Please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Krishna, you please chant the holy name of the Lord. Bhajo Krishna, Bhaja means worship Krishna. So that means deity worship. They are inducing, requesting people, please worship Lord, offer ghee lamp, offer incense stick. If nothing is there, offer flowers. Flowers is not there, at least offer water, patram, pushpam, phalam. But worship the Lord in some way. That will be very attracting to the Lord, and Lord will give you all blessing. Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Karo Krishna, Shiksha. And also instruct others about this message of Krishna. So they are making others also into preachers. So this is what we do through book distribution also. The same thing down the line after 2 generations, when Jiva Goswami under his tutelage was teaching to Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur Maharshi and Shamanand Pandit. After their, in one sense, teaching was over, their education was over. By that time only, Janva Mataji in Bengal had sent one message to Srila Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan that you all have nice literatures left behind by the 6 Goswamis. Srila Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we have Lalita Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, such high class literature. Then Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And then other literatures also of Raghunath Das Goswami. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita we have. It is such nectar, and we are not having it here in Bengal. We are deprived of it. So please, Jiva Goswami, make arrangement for these literatures to come to Bengal so that we also use it. So Jadva Mataji is wife of Nityan Prabhu, and she was the senior most in whole of Gaudiya Sampradaya. That time, though Jiva Goswami was the head of entire Gaudiya Sampradaya, but he knew the exalted position of Jadva Mata. So immediately he instructed these 3, his students who had just passed out, they had completed their education, that you 3 have to take responsibility of taking all this literature to Bengal, and they will copy it down, etc. Like that. So they were going. So there is big description, long description in Bhakti Ratnakar by Sri Narhari Chakravarti, one great Acharya, who came after Srinivas Acharya and all that. So he writes, he tells all the details. How Jiva Goswami arranged the send off for these books to go. These are the only copies Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Shri Upadeshamrut, Apurupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and other literature, Sri Bhagavad Bhagavatamrita. They were in a huge trunk. They were all kept there. They were worshipped by Jiva Goswami. And then they were loaded in carts. There were guards who were guarding these carts because sometimes people may think that they have some gold or some wealth and dacoits and others may attack. That will be dangerous. So some guards should be there. And then Jiva Goswami, they left these three were the heads and they started leaving. Jiva Goswami started walking with them. Walking. They reached Mathura. They stayed over there. And next day morning, from Mathura they started. Again, Jiva Goswami is walking with them. He is the teacher. He is their guru, Shiksha Guru. And he is not supposed to travel with them. He has empowered them. They are supposed to go. But he also started walking. Then Srinivasacharya requested Jiva Goswami that, my dear master, you please return back to Vrindavan. You don't have to come. We are there, don't worry. That's everything will be done. We'll make sure. So Jiva Goswami was into tears. He wanted to personally go also, but then with heavy heart, he returned to Vrindavan. And I have also heard that they would send scores of their book distribution on the way, whatever happened, to Jiva Goswami in Vrindavan. And what score? The scores would be small in one sense. And what kind of distribution? There were no second copies. Anywhere they went and people were attracted. Oh, I want this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So amazing. Could I have one copy? Then they would say, okay. And what does that mean? They will have their scribes, some Brahmanas who are scribes, they will write down. The original copy will be taken and they will write down everything. Anya bhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyana anukullena krishnanu shilanam bhaktiruttama sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha devanam bhaktiruchyate. Just two slokas. I just sang it, but writing takes longer time, isn't it? And like that, hundreds and thousands of slokas of Bhakti Rasamrita. That scribe will write down on palm leaves, with that, that what do you call it? Pen, which is like a stem of some wood, some tree, and in that he will put it in the ink bottle, and then he will write. Then ink gets over, then he again insert. How many of you seen this? Our childhood is then he writes, then the ink goes, then again he inserts it. Again, like this, thousands of slokas of just Bhakti Rasamrita. And now new copy is ready for that person who asked. So now this is one book distributed. Imagine how long it will take for one book to be distributed. Chaitanya Charitamrita has more than 11,000 slokas. Forget about commentary and all that. There are no commentary, this is original books. The commentary is not there. How much time it will take? Our job is so easy, isn't it? It's just have to go to Jiva. There are many times you don't have to go. The stalwarts only will fill the whole place with thousands of books, cartons and all that. You just have to pick them up and carry. Nowadays, even online though, you just press button, call here and there, and then what do you call that? Home delivery, city delivery, home delivery, and you get the score. So easy it is. Ours is damn easy thing, our distribution. But those years, that time, 100 years back, there are no printing presses, nothing. Mass printing was no question. For us, each Bhagavad Gita, if you want, how many Marathi Bhagavad Gita are available? Maybe 50,000, 1 lakh in our Pune. Similarly, Hindi, and also another 1, 2 lakhs will be available. In English, at least 50,000 also will be available. Bhagavatam set, at least, I don't know how many, but at least 500-600 set must be ready. So much ready-made. 500-600 of us simultaneously go. Each one will get one Bhagavatam set easily. So much stock is already available. So they were going like that, and on the way, one point of time in one place, Vana Vishnupur, there was a king Birambir. He came to know through his one palmist was there, or one particular astrologer. So he would understand about the what you call the travelers passing through that tract. He said to the king, these people who are going in their trunk, in that trunk, the greatest treasure of the world is there. This is unparalleled treasury. If you get it, you don't need anything else. Like that. So the king was king also, but then he was a dacoit also. He was head of all the dacoits. All the dacoits were under. They would loot all the travelers on the way. And when he heard this, he said, sure enough, we have to loot all this property. But he, because they are saints, they are sadhus kind of, so we will not attack them, we will not kill them. So then he told the dacoits under him that when they are sleeping in the night, they must be tired walking so long. So they are sleeping in the night. That time only you very gently take the trunks and bring them to my kingdom. And they did it. Next day morning, when these three got up, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur Maharaj and Shamanand Pandit, they were stunned, struck with wonder and shocked. What is this? The only copies that were there, they are all lost. Where have they gone? They were frantic. They searched here and there, but no clue also. So then Senior Acharya took the responsibility on himself. He told Narottam Das Thakur, you please go to Kheturi for preaching, and Shamanand Pandit to go to Odisha. You continue that. I will find out. So then, long story, but the king was impressed because Srinivas Acharya went to the court and he gave explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam in a very pure parampara. It was so appealing, so relishable. It defeated the earlier scholar who was narrating Bhagavatam with impersonalist commentary, impersonalistic commentary. So the king was very happy and he said, Sir, I'm very pleased. May I know how can I serve you? Whatever you want, I can try my best. Then he said that we have lost these books. Somehow in the night we were sleeping and some records or somebody was told. So could you please find out where these books have gone? I will be very grateful. We don't want any wealth now. Then the king's head went down. Said, Sir, please forgive me. But actually I am only the fellow who has stolen our books. Really, where are they? They're there in the go down. Show me. So then they went. And when the trunks, the lid was opened, then he saw. Also, the devotees say that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita was below somewhere. But when this was opened, Chaitanya Charitamrita had come on the top. And this is the topmost scripture. This is going to reveal Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories. Right? So Srinivas Acharya was very happy to get. So our thing is very, very easy for us. And down the line, you can see Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote more than 100 books. He also distributed them. He sent them to McGill University outside of India also. In 1896 only, he wrote that Life and Precepts of Lord Sri Chaitanya. In that book only, he wrote the prophecy that very soon that commander-in-chief of Lord Chaitanya's army is going to come. And he will preach without any restriction all over the world. And very soon is 1896 he wrote, and that year only happens to be the birth year of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. In fact, in 1901 or something, again he made a prophecy that this Acharya who will come, commander-in-chief of Lord Chaitanya Army, he will travel all over the world without restriction, without any impediment. So the question is, in 1900, how will you travel all over the world? Roadways can be through vehicles, and this thing, water can be with boat to some extent. But then, how will you travel all over the world with high speed? You require planes. Planes were not existing on these in 1900, 1901. But in 1903 also, the Wright brothers from America, they saw some birds flying and said, why only the birds fly? Why not we also? So they did some kind of research, and then the aeroplane was discovered. Earlier, aeroplanes were very primitive. You have to just take them and run, then go and then they would also fall down. So by 1965, when Prabhupada was ready to go all over the world, by that time the planes had become very sophisticated, very advanced technology, and the planes were up to date to mark, and Prabhupada could travel. So see, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur made prediction for Prabhupada's unrestricted preaching, Lord giving right intelligence to right brothers. Tadami buddhi yogam tam. Yena mam upayanti. Krishna gives intelligence by which every jiva can come to him. So here is an acharya who is going to reach to all the jivas, but he requires some kind of facility like this. So Krishna gave intelligence to right brothers, right intelligence. They could discover the aeroplanes. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur did it through his books, and then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had printing presses right in his Gaudiya mutts. Anybody who would come to Gaudiya Mutt, it's a temple, they would take darshan of the deities, Radha Gandharvika Giridhari and Gaur Gadadhar. And as he comes out, tap, tuk, 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 tap, 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 tuk, tuk. What? Next to the temple only, outside the temple. And he would ask, what is this? The printing machine. Printing machine? Yes, this is our family business. Book distribution. But for that, book printing is required. So in his matas, he would have printing press also. In fact, how many of you seen Gaudiya Mutt logo? If you have seen, it's like whatever, pentagon or hectagon, whatever it is. So in that, you'll find several sections are there. And in one section, what is there? Printing press is there. Machine. See, amazing Acharya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur trained Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in printing. By age 11, Vimala Prasad, that is childhood name of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he knew everything about printing machine, including overhauling, repairing, screw falls down, how to fit, machine, how to complicated printing press, quite complicated. He knew everything. Alone, he could repair the entire machine at the age of 11, trained by his father, Kedarnath Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Vimala Prasad was expert. And when he grew up, then what to speak of him? He was the only second person next to the governor of Bengal who had car. In whole of Bengal state, nobody had car except two people. The governor of Bengal, so understood, tough person. He is rich, he will have government will give or whatever. And only other person that was Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Was a sadhu, sannyasi. And what would you do with that car? You would load the whole car with books. Then you would take the car to remote villages of Bengal around Kolkata. And then people heard about car and all that, but they had never seen. So car is coming to a small village, and all the children, women, they are running. Car, gadi, aaya. And then the car would stop in the main place. And you would be touching the car. Glass, And by the time they're touching and all that, the door of the car would Malik aa raha hai iska. So जैसे Bhaktivinoda Thakur, tall figure, sannyasi, saffron robe. ये कौन है? ये मालिक है क्या? तो ड्राइवर किधर है? नहीं, यही ड्राइवर है शायद. And he would come out and then he would take the books out and he would keep on the car itself, the top, back side, everywhere. You want to चल क्या रहा है इधर? अंदर साधु आपको है क्या? ग्लास में और दिख ही नहीं रहा है. साधु ही. And he has brought out books and then he would say, so I have brought these books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. This transcendental knowledge is there. I request you, please take this. Please have a look. And they are impressed by car, impressed by sadhu. हाथ में book आया है. इसको देखो, कार को देखो, साधु को देखो. Take it, take it. So this was amazing. Bhaktivinoda Thakur would be there. And then what to speak of Prabhupada? Whole life, Nilambu describes also. Even before going to West also, he had written when moon landing was going on, he wrote that easy journey to other planets. This was much before only. Similarly, when he had to go to religious seminar in Japan, he did not have money, but he thought some ground should be there. So he wrote Light of Bhagavad book with nice pictures and all that. But then somehow he did not get money only for plane ticket. He dropped the idea. He asked that person who was kind of organizer. He tried, he said, sir, what is the way? Said, this could be the way. You try this. He tried, did not work. Ultimately, Prabhupada was so helpless. Prabhupada asked that organizer only, sir, could you please sponsor my ticket to Japan? He said, sir, I'm just an organizer. I don't have money and I cannot, I don't have that power. Please forgive me. Prabhupada said, okay. Prabhupada could not go. But at least the Light of Bhagavad book came. Also, he had written commentary on Bhagavad Gita also. But unfortunately, his wife sold it for getting some biscuits to eat, drink with the tea. So Prabhupada, in 1944 only, he started BTG magazine. He only would take the magazines and go for distribution everywhere. You must have seen somewhere that photo, I think in our temple, Prabhupada is there in some hotel kind of thing. And the people are taking tea and all that, and he's going and showing. And people most of the time would say one thing. What? No time. Sir, no time. So Prabhupada wrote one article in BTG, no time disease, like that something. So when World War II was going on, Prabhupada wrote article about that also. And whatever the current issues were there, burning issues, essential thing, Prabhupada would write the current happening and Vedic perspective also to that. And he would personally be distributing the books. He would only get them printed. He only would go for distribution. When he was on the streets of Delhi, once it was sunstroke, very scorching. It must have been summer. So Prabhupada got sunstroke and he fell on the ground only. And all the BT vaccines were scattered. After some time, when he got up, he again picked them and started distributing. Another time, when he was distributing, one cow came running and hit him on the body. Prabhupada fell down on the ground. All the BT scattered. After some time, he again got up and took it. One point of time when he fell down, maybe sunstroke time. So he was taken to hospital by one gentleman. He saw some sadhu is lying on the street footpath. All the magazines around. So he helped Prabhupada. He took him in the car and took to hospital and his clinic. And the doctor said, "Sir, you are very weak. You should not exert yourself like this. You please take rest, bed rest, for at least some week or two." Prabhupada said, "Okay." And then he came back to his house. And then he again started distributing. Did not listen to the doctor. So Prabhupada took so much effort for not only writing these books, typing these books. In those years, Prabhupada had a typewriter. Okay, typewriting with that. And then he would get it printed, then edit it, and then final printing and then distribution also. One man army. Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan army, but in the army only one man is there. Who is doing A to Z? Then Krishna provided the help later on. So we can see that for us it is so easy that we can just take the books and distribute. His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj says that Prabhupada's whole life was for distribution of books only, for getting them printed and distributed. We know this is the second instruction he got. First instruction in 1922, in his first visit to Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place, one Ulta Danga Junction Road, Bagh Bazaar temple on the top, Ulta Danga Junction temple. On the terrace, Prabhupada met Bhaktivinoda Thakur, offered obeisances with Narendra Mali, his classmate. And as they were rising only, immediately Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "You are young educated men, why don't you preach the message of Lord Chaitanya in English language all over the world?" And Prabhupada was stunned, what is this man saying? Sadhu, it's okay. But now whole of India is talking about getting release, freedom, independence from British rule. He was already into Gandhi's movement, wearing also khadi, dhoti and kurta. Prabhupada little bit argued little bit at conversation that how we are saying. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur convinced him that Mughals came, ruled over India for 800 years, they are gone. British have come, very soon they will also be gone. 1922, 1947, hardly 25 years in between. But all so many movements had already begun. Gandhiji's non-cooperation, so many other things were happening in India. Freedom fighters were there. So this British will be gone also. But all-time rulers for all living entities are their uncontrolled mind and senses. They are all the time troubling them. So for release only devotional services then. So you please accept this devotional service and you distribute it to others also. It will do good to you, it will do good to all those who come in touch with you. Prabhupada was convinced, here is a man, is out of the world. Nobody beyond the walls of Gaudiya Math is discussing about what he is saying. Whole of India is talking about freedom only. But he knows what is real freedom and how to offer it to all the jiva. So Prabhupada took it up, and then in again 1936, just before 2 months kind of before the departure of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he departed on 31st December 1936. But in October, Kartik month, when he had taken Braja Parikrama with 10,000 disciples followers, Prabhupada also got one day, so he went to hear from him. On the bank of Radhakund, when they were going, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said how these sannyasis and brahmacharis are fighting over rooms in Gaudiya Math. This is pathetic. Rather than engaging themselves in preaching word, noble word, they are just stuck up in nice facilities for themselves. Ganga facing rooms they want. So they are fighting over that. If only I could, I will pluck the marble from this Bagh Bazaar temple and sell it in the market. With the money obtained, print books and distribute them. Whenever you get money, print books. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's order. Last line. So Prabhupada captured. So our BPT, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, maybe in Los Angeles, maybe in Juhu, wherever it is. But actually the foundational stone was laid on the bank of Radhakund. Shri Radhakund ki jai. Bhaktivedanta Book Trust ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are so fortunate. This book distribution started from the bank of Radha, the holiest of all the holy places in the entirety of creation. We are so fortunate. Bhagwan Thakur spoke some words. Guru Mukha Padma Kitteke Kori Aike, Arana Kori Homani Asha. No other desire proper entertaining his mind. Only these two. And I have to preach all over the world in English language. Second, I should print books and distribute them. So that as a result only BBT came, and this is the world's largest religious book selling trust. Nothing else. Bibles are distributed more in number, but they are distributed freely because they have a lot of funding from the Western countries, etc. Bhagavad we don't distribute freely all our books. We ask people for money. We either take the cost of the book or we ask for donation from heart. Nowadays I ask for donation. Earlier I used to tell the cost of the book. Now I give small books and I tell the person. He asks how much it is worth. Then I say, no, give from your heart whatever you feel. So 30 rupees book, people give 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 200, sometimes 500 rupees. Done. So sometimes I give them one more extra small book, or I give them some card or something. I give a sticker or extra month I always give, but otherwise I give them some other 5 to 10 rupees laminated thing also. So this is very important work. So Prabhupada, in one of his conversations, through conversations with Brahmananda Prabhu, he says that I was not ready to come here, to this material world. Krishna told me one day, he called me and he said, you go to earth and do some preaching work. So I said, no, it's a horrible place. I will never go there. I said, Dukhalaya. Then he says, no, just go for some time, write some books and come back. I said, no, I will not go there. It's not a good place. He says, no, just go, write some books and come back. So then I agreed and I came. Prabhupada is saying, Brahman and some others. It is there, no call. Anybody has heard this? Read. You can forward it to me. I want to know where it is. Because I heard it once, but afterwards I lost it. We have the whole thing, Prabhupada, all lecture room conversation. But I want to take it. You can please help me after. So Prabhupada came, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj says, Prabhupada's original reason, his descent, is for book printing and distribution. Then all throughout his life, we can see how he was writing books, getting published and all that. One man show before going to West, and then afterwards Krishna sent so many men, and with their help, he could print more books and get them distributed also. Until the fag end of his life, till 14 November 1977, Prabhupada bedridden, 27 days is on bed only, not eaten anything, little bit, sipping of charanamrit, 2-3 drops, and little bit of pomegranate or some juice, fruit juice, given by His Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj. So that's it, no solid food. And Prabhupada is lying on the deathbed, and Jayaduswami Maharaj is holding the dictaphone, and Prabhupada is giving Bhaktivedanta purports, his transcendental ecstasy, devotional ecstasy. How many of you have seen this? Is there in your ever will be shown? Part is there, small part. So you can see till fag end, he kept giving books. That's nice Bhaktivedanta purports. So these are for the deliverance of the whole world. Prabhupada was sent by Krishna for distributing transcendental knowledge only. And he asked us the same thing, that what I have given to you, you please give it to the rest of the world. So our duty is that. It's our family business. It's the legacy that we have obtained. But then for all this, what is required is strong sadhana. Because all the top book distributors of the world, when they came together, His Grace Naveen Niral Prabhu, His Grace Vashishika Prabhu, His Grace Vijay Prabhu, and many others, I don't know who are there, but Bhurgupati Prabhu, these are daily book distributors. Daily they will go out for 4, 5, 6 hours. And they read also Prabhupada books daily, for minimum 1 to 2 hours, minimum. So they came together and they have made something called as 4 laws of book distribution. How many of you have heard? A few have heard. So the first in that is this top book distributors who have been they're perennial book distributors. The whole life, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years of experience of book distribution they have. And 50 years means not like us. Daily, minimum 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. So they are very realized, very accomplished, very experienced. They came together and they have made this law. So the first law is strong sadhana. So we all should have strong sadhana. Why? Because they say Any preaching endeavor is nothing but overflow. What is preaching? Getting a person closer to Krishna. And for that, what you have to do? You have to give him Krishna only. In the form of prasad, in the form of some knowledge, in the form of book, some preaching, like that. So how will you preach? Prana achayar, sahetu prachar. Only one who has life he can preach. A dead body cannot preach. Murda kya prachar karega? To dead है. So you have to have life. And what is life? Life is Krishna only. So we receive Krishna through our ear holes. श्रृण्वता श्रद्धया नित्यं गृणतश्च स्वचेष्टितं कालेन अतिदीर्घेण भगवान विशते हृदि. So when we hear with our 2 ears, so then Krishna in the form of Krishna Katha enters in our heart. Shrimata Shraddhaya Nityam, always we should hear, and with faith we should hear. Shraddhaya Nityam, Grunatascha Swacheshtitam, and take that knowledge with full determination that I want to follow this. So like that great determination. Then will what happen? Kalena na ati dirghena. In time. How much time? Not after a long time. Na ati dirghena. That means very quickly. What will happen? Bhagavan Vishate Rudhi. Krishna will enter your heart. This is how Krishna enters and purifies our heart also. Srunatam Sadhyani Sunataha Swapata Krishna Purne Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Abhadrani Vidunoti Sudruchatam. Krishna will cleanse our heart. How many of you want to become pure devotees? With pure heart. 100% pure heart. Pure for sure. Not a petrol one, but inside heart. So that the formula is given in Bhagavatam only. Like for that, what we have to do? We have to hear Krishna Katha. When we hear it, Krishna only enters in our heart. Paramatma will never purify your heart. Paramatma will do 3 functions only. Madha Smritir, Jnanam, Apohanam. He will only give you knowledge, forgetfulness, and remembrance. He will not do purification of your heart. That only Krishna will do. Here it is said also. Sunata Swagata Krishna Pune Shravana Kitana Hridayantasto Yavadani. Antas deep within our heart, so many anathas are there. After 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of chanting Hare Krishna Mantra, so you will be able to see, oh, still there are some anatha deep inside. Others are not able to see. Only my Guru Maharaj is able to see, and I am able to see by the blessing of the God. So, Vidunoti, Krishna will cleanse. Surut Satam. Because for Satam, for devotees, this Surut is the heart to heart friend. So, thus, Krishna Katha should be heard. So, we should take in Krishna, and it's like your heart is like a container, like water. This bottle is around 1.25 liter bottle. So, if I keep pouring water, empty bottle, and keep pouring water, so water will come up. 1 liter, now put 1.5 liter, 1.5 liter water. So the some surplus is there, what will happen to that? It will overflow. And if I put 10 liter water, almost 9 liter water will be just around once, only 1 liter inside that water. So all that surplus will go out in the form of overflow. And that is what is preaching. When you have heard so much about Krishna, and you have chanted also, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There also you are hearing. The topmost chanting is in which you are hearing each and every word. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. You are chanting very fast, but you are able to clearly hear each and every Hare Krishna Rama. And higher than that also, in while chanting with such great attention, hearing with rapt attention, you will have the darshan of the deities, darshan of their lordships, Radha and Krishna. They will manifest in your heart because you are pronouncing clearly and trying to hear attentively. So your mind will come under control and you will be able to see Radha Krishna. Just like if I say Narendra Modi, what comes in your mind? Mountain, tree, aquatic, bird, road, cement, or some man. Male or female, old or young, with beard, without beard, white beard, black beard. No mistake. So when I say Narendra Modi, how that man only comes in your mind? No aquatic, no bird, no tree, no mountain. And when I say Hare, or when you say Hare, why Radharani doesn't come in your mind? Hare means who? Hara only, na? In vocative it becomes Hare, but referring to the internal energy of the Lord. And when I say Krishna, or you say Krishna, why Krishna doesn't come in your mind? When we say Ram, why Ram doesn't come in your mind? Why? because we are not clear with the knowledge. The vidya is not gone inside. We are ignorant. That is one reason. Second reason is offenses, aparadha. So even if you have knowledge, your knowledge will be covered over because of your offenses. He says, Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. Most of the ISKCON devotees get stuck in anartha nivrutti and life passes in till anartha nivrutti stage only. Then they will die. Next lifetime, they'll be reborn somewhere at the age of 18, 20. Here we had these stalwarts or their followers will be there. They will not have sons. Their disciples will be there. They're unmarried, so they will not have sons. But their spiritual sons will be there. So they will catch you there. Catch them young. So they are young. Through book distribution, through prasad, through college program. You will come back again. Again, you will come to wise. Very nice. You come weekly program. You start chanting one round. You become 16 rounder. You shift inside deep center. And you get initiated and chanting with offenses. Anartha nivrutti. Maybe Arantha pravrutti also. Because of offending more Vaishnavas, Anartha are increasing also. So, while passing through Anartha nivrutti, after passing through Anartha nivrutti, we enter in Anartha pravrutti. Increasing. And then we don't want to be associating with sadhus. And we lose our faith also in the whole process. What is this nonsense? कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है इधर तो टाइम पास हो रहा है ऐसे चलो बाहर निकलो यहाँ से so reverse gear that should not happen but it may happen some or maybe more so either because of ignorance avidya or because of offenses of God we are not getting their lordships manifest in our heart so this is the sign of our weak sadhana so one sadhana should be very strong he says our Bilomagal Thakur says that भक्तिमयी स्थिरतरा भगवान यदि स्यात् oh Lord if my bhakti becomes स्थिरतरा स्थिरतरा स्थिरतमा because feminine so that's why स्थिरतरा if my bhakti becomes more steady kind of nishta दैवेन न फलति दिव्य किशोर मूर्ति then divya kishore murti the transcendental forms of kishore murti Radha and Vrindavan Chandra they will both manifest in the eyes of my mind automatically. And then Mukti Swayam Mukulitanjali Sevate Asman. Mukti Devi will be standing at my door saying, Sir, please, could I do some service? Sorry, madam, I'm very busy in my Bhakti services. Mukti, sorry, madam, please find out somebody else. There are so many contributors. They may be frustrated with their temple and other management activities. They will be happy to accept Mukti. Ah, I want to get rid of the service, hell with this service and department and this all that. But I am very sorry for that. Please find out. Sorry, madam. No offense to you. Mukti Swayam Mukritanjali Sankati Asma. She's ready, she's offering, but the person. And then Dharmartha Kama Gataya Samaya Pratiksha. Then what to speak of these three fellows? Dharma, Artha and Kama. Religiosity, sense gratification, and Artha, economic development. So they are the servants of Mukti Devi. If Mukti, the mistress only is not getting employed, what will happen to her servants? They will be poor fellows, starving. Samaya Pratiksha, they have to stand out far out. She's standing at the door, so it will be like below on the ground floor. So, like that. So this is the result of strong sadhana. So we should read also. Three things basically in our sadhana. Navida Bhakti, and all will come in sadhana in one sense. But in that, Prabhupada stresses a lot on Shravanam and Kirtana. So, little bit you expand it, reading, hearing, and chanting. Everything that we do is sadhana only. Drinking water, fasting water is also sadhana. Because it is, that makes you nice devotee. You can chant nicely. If you don't pass water, what will happen? If you don't drink water, what will happen? If you don't go, some brahmacharis get constipation. 3 days, 10 days later, when they release it, they feel that they are liberated souls. Because something is liberated from them. So it is required. So that is also sadhana. Drinking water, sleeping, all that which you do as per the instruction of your spiritual master, Prabhupada, Vedas. That is all sadhana only. But the topmost are Shravanam and Kirtana, two, but you can make it little expanded. Reading, hearing, and chanting. This top sadhana. So in the reading, hearing, chanting, you can see each one is 3 types also. In chanting or reading, In reading, we can read ourselves, books of Prabhupada, natural books. Second thing is we can come together and read common. That is little better also. Sanghe Shakti, Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, we get strength by association. That's why Prabhupada formed this Antarashtriya Krishna Bhavanamrut Sangha. Sanghe Shakti, Kali Yuga. Together, it becomes easier. Like let's say we come in this hall and are reading. Maybe we are reading our own book. Best would have been to study some common book, like one devotee reads, other reads purport. And maybe some discussion is not required, just reading together, it becomes very powerful. And we will not sleep then. Alone reading, how many of you have slept? You feel sleepy. So that Shravanam process enters in, transforms into Vandana. Very quick Vandana. Not even Ekanga Pranam. Ardhanga Pranam. Head is not touching to the ground. Head touches to the ground, it will be Ekanga Pranam. But anyway, this is Ekanga Pranam. Holding two palms. This is called as Ekanga Pranam. Panchang Pranam, Ashtang Pranam. So this is what happens to us. So reading together or individual reading. So this is reading. Then hearing. Hearing, we can hear a class like this together. Some morning Bhagavatam class, whatever the class goes on. And another is we can have our own personal hearing. We can have audio, video, whatever. Audio only. So that is another. And then chanting. Chanting is personal chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Hare. Japa. So we chant minimum 16 rounds as per our instructor. As such, the goal is Kirtaniya Sadhari. 24 hours we have to chant. But we are not accustomed to that. We are not so pure. So that's why we are given concession. Okay. Chant minimum 16. But good rounds. 16 good rounds. That's the standard. And then coming together and loudly chanting, congregational chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is how reading, hearing, chanting should be done unlimitedly. Then you will become very strong devotee over a period of time. That is called a strong sadhana. So this is the first law of book distribution. Without strong sadhana, how long you will go on with book distribution? You will not have impetus only. In my life only, so after some years, I don't know how many 10, 12 years later, then I was wondering, why am I distributing so many books? Nobody, the GBCs, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Sadhana Swami, both of them personally never told me distribute books. Radheshyam Prabhu, the temple president, he never called me and said, Sundarshyam, distribute books. Nor the temple manager, they were changing, but no manager told me. And none of my friends are saying about books. So why am I so mad for book distribution? Earlier I used to do daily. After we were young brahmacharis, so we used to cook prasadam, basically chapatis. Hot chapatis would serve all the brahmacharis and around 100 to 150 devotees would take prasad in Kujivari prasadam. So we would be young brahmacharis. So there are nothing like PDC, what we have now. It was just joining with all other brahmacharis. No yellow dress. Whatever they hear, we hear the same thing. No separate training. But we would have these menial services. So we would be rolling chapati, some of us would be roasting, some of us applying ghee, and some others serving chapati as well as rice dal sabji chapati. So 1 to 1:30 would go in serving or cooking. Then 1:30 to 2 I would take prasad. Then 2 o'clock also I would go to Jivadaya. Then Bhagavad Pradhan Prabhu would be there, and I would say, Prabhu, give this book, Marathi, this meaning. And I would take some, at least 70, 80, 100 books, small books mainly. And I would put it in the scooter dicky and in my bag, etc. And then I would go to Swargate, around 5 kilometers, alone. And then I would go in each and every bus, enter the bus, that bus. And then I would announce, Hare Krishna, I am from ISKCON International Society for Krishna Consciousness, whichever language, Marathi mainly. And then I have these books. In this book, this is told, that is told, and this is what are the information you tell in 2-3 minutes, kind of, because the bus is going to leave also. And before that, you have to distribute books. Mainly, I come for distributing books. So everything has to be very clear. You'll become expert organizer, and you will reach Paramatma. If you distribute books, you will contact Paramatma. How many of you want to contact Paramatma? To distribute books. So then I would show, I would tell, and then I would say, now I'm coming to you all. So those who are interested, please have a look, and you can take the book. So then I would go to each and every person. The bus would not be necessarily filled bus, because filled bus means almost it's ready to move. I would enter much before. Some passengers are there, 10, 15, 20, 30, depending on. And sometimes the bus would start also, and the conductor says, "Kami बैठी बैठा नहीं बैठना नहीं मुझे उतरना है फिर उतरिए ना आप उतरेंगे नहीं Friday ये books भी जा रहा है. So then sometimes I would get down outside the Swargate bus stand, on the road, main road, because the bus has started and my customer is not yet paid. I have not given him change. And meanwhile, the bus, he doesn't stop the bus. And then seeing my transaction over, the driver would, the conductor would ring the bell and the bus would stop, the door would open, I would not close the door. So that person also got a lot of security. Many conductors got. Some of them also do, but even if not, they got a lot of security. Like that, daily covering hundreds of buses. Daily. Daily. So I was thinking, what is the reason? There's no GBC, president, manager, nobody's telling. What is the reason? So after 3-4 months of deep thinking and analysis, I understood it is only because I'm reading Prabhupada books too much. I'm associating with Prabhupada through his books. Prabhupada thinking. But daily I would read 1 hour to minimum, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 1, sometimes 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, rarely 9, very, very rarely 10 hours in one day. Like that I would read. I was voracious from childhood, that's how you heard, na? At the age of 13, 14 only, I read entire Bhagavad Gita, Jashi Hai Tashi. When I was 8th and 9th standard student, that time entire, understood nothing. Only one thing. Understood one thing. You understand, you imagine, nothing is understood. How the person goes on reading, one of the voracious reader, ये पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. ये हिंदुओं का धर्म ग्रंथ है, इतने किताबें पढ़ी है, ये भी छोड़ूंगा नहीं मैं. ये तो बचपन से मैं देख रहा था उसको, 7 साल की उम्र से, 8 साल की, 9 साल की, देख पढ़ना है, ये बहुत बड़ा है ये, और इसमें कुछ स्टोरी दिख नहीं रहे. बाद में थोड़ा बाद में, कितना बाद में, 11 ईयर, 12 ईयर, 13 हो गया, अभी बहुत हो गया. I must read. So पूरा पढ़ लिया. Nothing understood, only one thing, you are not body, the spirit soul. That is repeated like anything. But no realization. Father rather encourage this thought and stay with devotee, stay purified like anything. When you understand all this torture given to all the devotees, problem, because after all it is to the body, gross body and subtle body. You are not the body. That's how forceful you realize you are not the body. There is no other option. Because if you have to stay with devotee, this is the realization you need. Otherwise, if you think you are gross body, subtle body, you will go. पागल लोग ऐसे पता नहीं कैसे मैं पागल हो गया सबके साथ. तो हो गया था, दिमाग घूम गया था, अभी फिर से दिमाग पता नहीं चलो यहाँ से निकल से बाहर. So strong sadhana is required daily. So we have morning program, it's very good, and 16 good rounds. You have to utter the holy name clearly and hear attentively. Mind will wander. Yato yato nishchalati manaschanchalamasthiram tatastato niyamaitat atmanneva vashamnaya. Oh Arjun, whenever and wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, you pull it back and focus it on the higher self. So focus it on intelligence. Intelligence will tell the mind, come on, you are not body. This is the activity which will go with you. All other wealth, education, job, money, everything remains here. This is the only thing that will go with you. So focus on intelligence or focus on the soul. I am not the body. I am the soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna. As his servant, my only duty is to be connected with him through bhakti. Is the easiest. And in bhakti also the easiest is chanting holy name, which I am already chanting. So why am I allowing myself to get distracted by this or that? All temporary thing. Kamala dala jala, jivana dala. Ithe ki ache parat ite. All temporary word will not be there in 2099. Who all will be present? Raise your hand. Will be present in 2099. That means around 67 years later. 66, 75 years later. Raise your hand. Those will be present up to 75 years. What is your age? 18. 18 plus 75? 93. You will be 93 years old. अभी ट्राई करो. वो लोग काउंट डाउन कर रहे हैं, मुझे नहीं पता काउंट डाउन में क्या नंबर आया है. ऑलरेडी वो नंबर हो सकता है कि 70, 68, इतने सालों के बाद जाना है. क्या नाम है? अमन. Mr. Aman's appointment is fixed after 62 years, 72 years. उनको पता है, मुझे नहीं पता. हो सकता है वो after 87 years. Why not live for 105 years, 108 years? But no control. So focus it on the higher self. Chanting is the most important. Prabhupada said 99% of your advancement in devotional service depends on chanting. Only 1% on other things. So imagine how much stress should be given. 99% of my day's energy as well as my life's energy should be focused on only chanting. Imagine we have going to have exam in your engineering or here. In that, these teachers or the outside teachers they tell, so this is the scenario. And this particular question is going to definitely come. And this is for 99 marks. And then there are 10,000 more questions also. This will have one point, not 1 mark. This will have 0.1 mark. This will have 0.05 mark. And this all together, there will be 1 mark. Some of these questions will come. Which one we don't know. But this one is there. Definitely compulsory question it will come. And it has 99 marks. So how many of you will be focusing on that all those 10,000 questions, which all point not 1 mark, 0.1 mark, 0.05 mark. How many of you will focus on that? How many of you will focus on this 99%, the 99 marks question? See, so we are intelligent here, but in actual life we are not becoming intelligent. Because in chanting we are pathetic. We are not convinced. What is that 1%? What is the time? And what is that devotee doing? And what is happening over there? So that 1 mark we are focusing like anything. And by the way, what is the result of the recent voting election? And most important, that is like 1 mark or maybe 0.9 marks. That is most important for many people today. I was told by Brahmachari yesterday that many devotees who were hearing your Bhagavatam class yesterday in MSSC, many of them were interested in knowing what's the result of the election. And you went on with such a long class till 9:45. They got delayed, no? They were desperate to go. Right? We just unnecessarily stopped them. That is useless gossip, prajalpa. That should not be done by devotees. So we can see how we have to be focused in chanting. And then also we have class. Class also is very important. We should hear Bhagavatam class with rapt attention. Prabhupada said, sleeping in Srimad Bhagavatam class is worse than illicit sex. You can repeat after me. Sleeping in Srimad Bhagavatam class is worse than illicit sex. Somebody goes and has sex with somebody. Okay, illicit sex. But sleeping in Srimad Bhagavatam class is worse than that also. That is not a big problem. This is a big problem. You go out and have illicit sex, some problem. But you stay inside and sleep in Bhagavatam class, it's a big problem. It's worse than illicit sex. So we should be wide awake. With rapt attention. My whole life depends on this class. You should make notes. Daytime you should tell others, what we heard today morning, this point, that point, and all that. Contemplate on it. Try to think how to apply it in life. If you don't know, approach your counselor. Ask them, I'm inspired by this statement, but I don't know how to apply all that. They will help you also. So that is Bhagavatam class. So like that, we should have strong sadhana. That is first law of book distribution. So we spend more time on that. Second law is, you must carry books. What will you distribute? That which you carry. Now I have so many books. Sure. There are more. So many books are there. I can distribute all these books. Well, I have them. Marathi, Hindi, English, Perfection of Yoga. Some Hindi book, Yoga Path. More books. This is 2/3, 1/3 is still there. So you must carry books. So now I can distribute all these books. Anybody wants? You can give some kind donation from your heart. If not 10 crore rupees. So you must carry books. You can never distribute that book which you don't carry. You must carry. So that is second law. You must carry books. Third, the more you show, the more you distribute. So let's say I have brought all Marathi books. So only those who speak Marathi, they will take book. And somebody says, Prabhu ji, मुझे हिंदी में चाहिए. हिंदी में मिलेगा? वो हिंदी में क्या? वो तो नहीं. लेकिन हमारे मंदिर में कौन जाएगा? आप इधर आए थे ना? आपसे ले लेता था. But you don't have. Forget it. So you must go in different languages. So I have Hindi, Marathi, English. I have for sure. But I'm saying that if you don't have some book in different language and different variety also, somebody say, oh, this is very nice. Sir, could I have 2-3 more books? Oh, 2-3 more books. नहीं, यही एक book है, different language. Oh, okay. So some people will be very interested. They want to purchase more books, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes they can take whole set also, or all your books also they can take one copy. So people enter. So more you show, the more you distribute. This is third law of book distribution. And fourth is you must organize. You should be well organized, just like in our godown, you there. So if you come there and he says, Prabhuji, I want this 10 variety of books, Bangla 2, Marathi 3 and whatever. And person in charge जैसे ना अंदर जाओ जो भी चाहिए बुक्स ले लो देखो कहाँ है मुझे पता नहीं कहाँ है क्या है देखो ढूंढो जो चाहिए बुक्स लेके आ जाओ मैं बिल बना दूंगा चलन बना आप अंदर जाएंगे जरा लैक्स ऑफ बुक्स है आपका दिमाग घूम जाएगा वो जो इंचार्ज है he doesn't know which book is where what will you understand after 2 hours, you got 3 Bangla book Bhagavad you are wondering, कितने होगा ये सब इसमें? So it should not be like that. It should be well organized. If you come to watch you there, it should be well organized. See the books on the in the cupboard there are small books, and outside on the doors only those books with plastic laminated covers are there. Which book, which language, everything is very clear. So they just go and then whichever language you ask, they will give, and then they make chalan and all that. And the devotees feel very nice when the chalan is also settled very nicely. Otherwise, they get frustrated sometimes. क्या प्रभु आधे घंटे से इधर खड़ा हूँ आप बोल रहे रुको 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 मैं 15 मिनट बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करके आया आधा घंटा इधर सेटलिंग में हो रहा है मेरा something like that you understand a person becomes frustrated so it should be well organized effort that's why we have a huge team of devotees who are in the set vertical they are in the back team they are not going for distribution our Abhi Madhusudan Prabhu I don't go on the Sadhana Prabhu team of 10 15 devotees. In marathon time, we increase the number of devotees also 10, 15, 20. They all settle the book. Then it becomes easier because so many go out. So more devotees are required for settlement also. So you must organize well, language wise and big book, Mahabig and all. These are the 4 laws. What is the first law of book distribution? Second, you must carry books. Third, the more you show, the more you distribute. And fourth, you must solve. So if this is how you do, you will be the most successful book distributor for whole of your life if you follow these rules. So whole life, you will never stop distributing books. In fact, after your death also, you will make some arrangement by which books will go on distribution like that. Such kind of conviction will come. The root cause of all problems, material existence is agyan. Time destroys everything except ignorance. Like this nice rod. This must be there for what 1, 2, 3 years, like that. But 30 years later, we doubt that this will be there. Maybe there. 300 years later, mostly not. 3,000 years later, surely not. Isn't it? We destroyed by the effect of time. Time destroys everything. Kalosmi lokashaya krut pravrutte. But time cannot destroy one thing. That is agyan, ignorance. Rather, with passage of time, ignorance can increase also because of materialistic association. But knowledge is so sublime. Knowledge destroys ignorance. So we are given this knowledge to distribute. So we should distribute by all means. Also, many people think that book distribution does not make devotees. No, many people become devotees. As he told in introduction only. My father purchased Bhagavad Gita in 1984 only, that All India Padayatra. I did not know it. I still remember that daytime, I still remember Prabhupada's DT in the Bullock cart. Gaur Nitai were behind. Now these Gaur Nitai are settled in Prabhupada Kutir in Mayapur, next to Prabhupada Samadhi. How many of you visited? So you know Gaur Nitai are standing there. So these are the Gaur Nitais who were installed in Dwarka by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj. So the Pratishtha was done, and then they were installed on the Bullock cart. And they traveled from Dwarka, they started Ahmedabad, Surat, then Mumbai, and then Panvel. Then next to Panvel is our village, Chowk. And then next is Khopoli, and then Lonavala, Pune. Like that they traveled. Then Arovade, Pandharpur, I don't know whether Arovade Maharashtra because that's his hometown also. And then all the way from Andhra, Odisha, and then it is 1.5 year. 1984 Radhashtami Day, somewhere in September month, till 1986 Gaurpurnima. Because 1986 was the 100th appearance anniversary of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So for that only 1.5 years All India. So this was purchased on the 2nd December 1984 by my father, Bhagavad as it is. In those years, it was not by devotees, translated. It was translated by one Mr. Karantikar, famous writer of Maharashtra, Marathi. So I read that. So I read it, well, I read it in 1991. That means how many years later? Around 7 years later, I read it. Still not so much effective in one sense. But when I made devotees, I purchased it on 8th March 1996. So this one was more impactful because I was going for weekly program. I was associating with devotees and I shifted to youth center. Then I wrote contest also on Bhagavad Gita. 7,500 questions were asked. And I became third also in the contest by Shankara arranged for all Pune youth, college youth, engineers mainly. So we can see now we are practicing more Bhagavad Gita, we are teaching Bhagavad Gita, quoting Bhagavad Gita, trying to live by each and every verse of Bhagavad Gita. So the effect takes time, but time effect is there. All the books of Prabhupada are like time bomb. So time bomb when you keep, does it explode? No, but it explodes surely. Where? When the time, whatever time is set, 1 hour later, 2 hour later, it will explode for sure. So that's how the books are. They will definitely make devotees. Person will become. And also it is said, one book you distribute, it will be read by 10 people. It's like a newspaper, Times of India, Indian Express. Anybody purchases, he is not the only one who reads. How many read? What they say? Readers. How many readers we have? 10 lakh, 10 million something. So not 10 million newspapers are sold. Maybe 1 billion are sold, and then they said 10 people read one newspaper. So our readers are 10 million. So like that, one book of Prabhupada will be read. I did not purchase Bhagavad Gita Dashi. My father purchased. But I read it. My father also read it. Before me, he read it. But I read it later. Towards some other village people also read it. So one book is read by so many. So you get the blessing of all that. And you are preaching, let's say in the midnight when I'm sleeping, somebody comes and wakes me up. Prabhu, मुझे कुछ प्रश्न है जो आपने भगवद गीता पाठा था ना, अरे पागल हो गया यार, मेरा रात का नींद खराब कर दिया तूने, कल सुबह पूछना था, कल रात को पूछना था, ये क्या मेरा, I will be disturbed. But Prabhupada can preach to him in the midnight also. That fellow, because of whatever reason his sleep is disturbed, he gets up and what to do, I will be this library, this what, Bhagavad Gita, he'll take it out. And he'll start reading 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the midnight. Prabhupada is enthusiastically telling. So, we are not big bodies. The body is passing, the soul is passing through Kaumaram, Yamunam, Dara. Prabhupada is enthusiastic, 24 hours. We see also. He sacrificed his nighttime sleep to write these books. He was ever ready. But we are not ever ready. We are never ready. I think we are ready, serving in this way from Andhra. But we are not ever ready. So, but Prabhupada is ready. That's why Prabhupada said, give my book. So this is very tangible preaching. And the book will keep preaching. Prabhupada was earlier printing magazines. One postman said, Swamiji, why you print magazines? People will not take so seriously. They will take cheaply. If you have books people take very seriously. They consider them to be holy. So you should print books. Prabhupada immediately said, my spiritual master is speaking through this. Because Bhaktan Tagore in 1936, what did he say? Whenever you get money, print books, not magazines. Books. That doesn't mean that Back to Godhead magazine is not to be distributed. It can be distributed. But books are more powerful. People take them more seriously. So one devotee was telling that there are two easily accessible pure devotees for all. One is Tulsi Maharani. Tulsi plant is there everywhere. Once I was traveling from Hampi to Udupi, all the way, western region only, but like crossing the Sahyadri mountain range. So there, so many houses were there. I was just peeping through the window. Every house had a huge vranda, Tulsi vranda, outside the house. They have kind of separate houses, no buildings in that region, Karnataka, western Karnataka. And so Tulsi plant is there everywhere. This is pure devotee goes in every person's house. Similarly, another person is Prabhupada in the form of his books. He can enter in the house of a meat eater, one who eats cow flesh, one who is a dog flesh eater, Chandala, and one who is illicit sex smoker, woman hunter. Every place Prabhupada's book can go. Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will remain in two places. One is my books, and another is in the hearts of my sincere followers. Basically, book is Granth Bhagavad. And the heart of sincere follower, that person is Vyakti Bhagavat, person Bhagavat. Two types of Bhagavats are there. So Prabhupada's realization, Prabhupada can go to each and every house, each and every person, and teach Krishna for whole of his life in the form of that book. So this is most noble work in the whole creation. As Krishna himself is saying, Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitra nihita. There is nothing so sublime as transcendental knowledge. And 18th chapter also, he says in 69th verse, Nachatasman manusheshu kaschin me priyakratana. There is no one more dear to me than he who preaches my message to devotees. All outside people are devotees only, they are covered over. And when we give knowledge, we are removing the coverings. Thus, we do the topmost work. Gopis have glorified this. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam shrimadatam bhuvi grinanti Horidajana. Oh Lord, your pastimes, your katha, tava katha, amrutam, it's nectar. Tapta jivanam, do Lord burning. In the material world, all are burning. In birth, old age, this is there. Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, Klesh. And pure devotees also burn in their feelings of separation from the Lord. Heart is burning, oh Lord. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrusaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam Govinda Virahena. Pure devotees are also burning. They are also burning of heart. So they also, when they read Krishna Katha, hear Krishna Katha, they also feel soulless. So relieved. So materialistic people and pure devotees, they both get relief by hearing Krishna. Tava Kathamritam Tapta Chivanam Kavi Viriditam. The pure, intelligent people, they have glorified. They have worshipped Lord's pastimes, which are given in holy books. Kavi Viriditam Kalmashapaham. All the anarthas, impurities in the heart will be destroyed. Shravana Mangalam, very auspicious for hearing. Shri Madatitam, wherever Krishna Katha goes on, all auspiciousness is spread there. Lakshmi is present over there. Shri Madatitam. Bhuvi Vrinantiye, on earth planet, whosoever gives Krishna Katha, distributes this. Bhuri Rajana, they are the topmost well wishers of others. सबसे बड़े दिलदार है वो. They are broad-minded people. They are giving the highest charity. Raktadan, Netradan, Kidney Dan. This is insignificant dan. Useless, more or less. In fact, that person after getting eyes, he will see all nonsense things. Especially YouTube videos. As long as he was blind, could not see YouTube videos, only could hear. And now you give eyes to that fellow, Netradan. आप तो मर गए आपके आंखों के द्वारा you will see all nonsense on YouTube and you will also get the reaction because you gave the wrong instrument to him like that. So this is not the topmost charity, the worst charity in one sense. The best charity is transcendental. So we have this fortune, we should take it up very nicely. But for that, homework we have to do. Inside the home, we have to do our sadhana very strongly. Then there will be strength to go out. And when we're out there, then we'll be distributing books. We'll give them transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, we'll be hesitating. ऐसे कैसे लेगा नहीं, ये नहीं लेगा, वो नहीं लेगा, ये भी नहीं लेगा, कोई नहीं लेगा इधर, कोई नहीं. And Bhagavad Gita as it is, carried as it is, brought back as it is. If you are reading, then you understand. This is very everybody needs it. ये भी लेगा, हर कोई लेगा, हर किसी को लेना है. नास्तिक कोई बोलता है आई एम नास्तिक, आई डोंट बिलीव गॉड. नहीं सर, आपके लिए भी है ये. आपको अभी पता नहीं, नो प्रॉब्लम, मैं बाद में आऊंगा आपके पास. आपको नहीं समझ में आया, लेकिन आपको ये लेना ही है, कंपल्सरी है. फोर्स नहीं कर रहा हूँ, आपको तो बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है. बस सेट ही देना चाहिए. 10,000 देंगे तुम्हें, 10,000 का 10 रुपए भी नहीं दूंगा, बाद में देंगे, मैं आऊंगा. बाकी है. Once one devotee was distributing books on some railway platform. Different people were waiting for the train. So what happened? One particular lady was there, little like mad lady, like this, and little crazy appearance. Not exactly beggar, but so that devotee was distributing books, book distributor. He thought, she will not take. She seems to be poor and stated in that. I don't think she will take. And then the train came with very high speed. It was not going to halt on that station. This lady jumped on the track hit by the tank. She died on the spot. The book distributor saw that he was not. He was so frustrated in life that she committed suicide. I did not understand. She was the one who needed the book the most, but unfortunately, I thought that she will not take. If not taking the book, at least if would have been showing the book, she would have been entertained in that period. Train would have passed by, she would have remained alive. Because of my nonsense, one soul died, and I could have saved one soul just by engaging in book discussion activity also, whether taken or not. And if she took the book, she would have been completely what do you call? She would have lived forever. She would have attained eternal life also. So we should not commit mistake like that, thinking that this person doesn't need that person. Everybody needs it. As this George Harrison wrote in the Krishna book, that forward or whatever. Apple. So he writes what? Everybody is looking for Krishna. Some know it, some don't know. And everybody is looking for Krishna. Any kind of happiness you are looking for, whether food, woman, prestige, anything kind of happiness. That is basically you are looking for Krishna. Because Krishna is not there in life, we think then this thing or this person will make me happy. And then you go for it. But actually only Krishna we need. If you get Krishna, you don't need anything. Just like fish outside water, needs back to be in the water only. So like that if you get Krishna, you become completely satisfied. Okay, any question?
हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण ये जो साधना रहती है ना तो इसको मटेरियल कंडीशन
साधना माता जी नहीं है साधना रहती है साधना जैसे मेरे नेबर ही हो बाजू में रहती है साधना माता जी हो सकता है आपकी नेबर हो साधना माता साधना रहती है बाजू में
साधना नहीं परफॉर्म so it depends on the material condition. It means sometimes for 3-4 months I perform it very much strongly. I feel sometimes, and I think that now there will be not any. It will not degrade, but
material. It all depends on devotee only. Sadhana is directly proportional to the quantity as well as quality to devotee association. Sangha sanjayate ama. You get invigorated. Tam prasangan mama virya sangito. Sange shakti ke liye. When you are in that, just see the Mangalati, you are here. Will you be forced to dance or not? Just imagine same Mangalati is going on. You can hear it ground floor. Will you dance there? Will anyone force you there? No. And you feel anybody will come, people are looking also, I will not dance. So when you are with devotees, strong sadhana happens. Without devotees, almost impossible. Ekaki amar nahi paye par harinama sankir. So we have to be with devotees. Then impetus is there to go on with more and more and better sadhana. Quantity and quality. Both we want to increase.
But it has happened that even within, when I said between the devotees, but if some problem is going in their life, then it disturbs the mind. And there is no quality
in their life or your life? That means sadhana is not done properly. One problem is there. If you hear classes attentively, Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavasa, then you'll understand there is no problem. There is no problem in the entire world. Sukhalayam. Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, Vidhi Mahendra Adishchakita. Because you are not body. You are Jiva Krishna Das, Ye Vishwas, Karle Toar, Dukhanai. Jiva Krishna Das. Jiva is servant of Krishna. Ye Vishwas, if you have strong faith in this, whatever the message. Karle, Jiva Krishna Das, Ye Vishwas, Karle Toar, Dukhanai. तो कुछ दुख है नहीं. प्रतिपदम पूर्ण अमृत आस्वादन आनंदांबुधि वर्धन. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? नो प्रॉब्लम. से इमेजिन प्रॉब्लम. प्रजहाति यदा कामान सर्वान पार्थ मनोगताम आत्मन्नेवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदुच्यते. 55. Krishna is good. Prajahati yada kaman. You give up all the desires. Sarvan partha manogatam, which are arising because of mental concoction. It's your mental concoction that you will be happy with this way. If this thing happens that way, if BJP wins or if then you will be happy. This is your mental concoction. So one should give it up. Prajahati, not Jahati. Prajahati. completely. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan tatam atmannevatmana tushta. You will be satisfied in yourself. Atmara. With chanting. With Krishna. Sita pragya. Your intelligence is steady. Otherwise, you'll keep imagining, oh, if BJP wins, then we'll be happy. Oh, because BJP won, there's so much problem there. After 5 years, you will say that. Don't, that's what Bhaktivinoda Tagore convinced Prabhupada of, no? I think that what is BJP ruling or Congress ruling India is not a big problem as much as British ruling over India, which is bigger problem. British ruling. So that was not a big problem. Bhaktivinoda said, this is not a problem. All time uncontrolled mind and senses are ruling on the jiva. That is the problem. And for that, bhakti only has to be burned. And you are young educated man, you should come forward. Come forward. The Prabhupada came forward. And he left behind all that khadi and vadi and whatever. Became preacher of Krishna Katha. So we have to be on transcendental platform in one sense. If you are on mundane platform, it will be difficult. Just like all of us, all throughout the class, we are steady. Just imagine the same class was going on in the truck, backside of the truck. The truck is going on in this road, very transcendental road. You know this famous road. What would be the case? So you should be steadily situated. Sthita pragya. For the gross body to be steady, subtle body needs to be steady. And in the subtle body, the most important is intelligence. But the intelligence also higher than that is false ego in one sense. The false ego is convinced that Jiva Krishna Das, I'm not body, I'm not this body. So that is false ego. I am spirit soul, Jiva Krishna Das, I'm servant of Krishna. And the intelligence is very steady, and the mind comes under control. Then in chanting you can go on. Move on, not at what problem is going on. There's no problem in the creation. Prabhupada was told also that there is no problem. Only problem in the world is lack of Krishna consciousness. And only solution is Krishna consciousness. So because you are less Krishna conscious, we think this is the problem, that is the problem, he is a problem, he is also a problem, or the devotee is a problem. Entire ISKCON is a problem. Prabhupada was the biggest problem. Yeah, that is how I will convince you. There is no problem. So fill your heart with Krishna consciousness, and you will nourish. You will feel nourish. You will be relishing like anything. Okay. Any other? Yes. Let him answer.
How to read Prabhupada books to
By opening them. Because as far as I understand, as long as they are closed, you can't read. You can read the cover page. Simple answer. For simple question. Huh? Okay, scrutinizing was the last part. Reading again and again. It becomes scrutinizing study. तो ये पहली बार पढ़ेगा नहीं, 108वीं बार चल रहा है ये. तो क्या है बुक में? बुक बंद करके आप पूरा बता दोगे कि 108वीं बार पढ़ रहे हो, याद हो गया आपको बुक में क्या है. And in 57th page Prabhupada says and 58th page he says this out. 59 आप तो एकदम हाँ 108 वो रीडिंग चल रहा है ना. I have read this perfection of yoga 7 times. So anyway, maybe याद नहीं हुआ है. 108 ये रीडिंग में हो जाएगा. Apart from that, basically Krishna gives the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam. You should be always engaged in services to Krishna. Yasham satat yuktanam, quantity, and bhajatam priti guru, quality. You should engage in all spiritual activities with love for Krishna. Then Krishna will give the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayana, by which you will go to Krishna. The best example is South Indian Brahmin, who was instructed, ordered by his spiritual master, my dear disciple. Now as I initiate you, please read Bhagavad Gita daily. Whole Bhagavad Gita. So what he would do, he would, after 10 hours, he would sit in one corner of Ranganath temple and open Bhagavad Gita. He did not even know how to read properly. Patram, push. So yeah, he's not able to read properly, but he reads it. Like that 700 slokas daily. All other Brahmanas around would mock at him. What nonsense, this fool can't even pronounce properly. Look at him, we know all this by heart. So they would mock at him, but when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, almost you can say 1510, mostly that because the first was here on the Chaturmas. So he saw this Brahmin, he was so ecstatic. And then he found the Brahmin was crying. He said, "My dear Brahmin, why do you cry?" Because these people are mocking at you. He said, "No, no, no, not because of that. Because I see that Krishna has become chariot driver for Arjuna. Arjuna is just a devotee, whereas Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead, the Lord and Master of the entire creation. And he has taken such a lowly position for his dear devotee Arjuna. How Bhakta Vatsal is kind-hearted is the Lord. So that brings tears in my eyes. And then why do you read if you are not reading properly, can't read properly? So because my spiritual master has ordered me. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite katita hyartha prakashante mahatmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith both in the Supreme Person Lord Krishna and the spiritual masters. All the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. You don't have to read books also. Divya Gyan, not Masti ki prakashit. They prakashit. So, but he was following the order of Guru and others were mocking, no problem. And he got not just realization, tears in eyes. The perfection of devotional practice is crying. Bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga dhan. Bhakti ye Krishna nama smarana krandan. Bhakti yoga is the topmost wealth. 3 times he's stressing. Vrindavan Rastha. And what is bhakti? Bhakti ye Krishna nam. Chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. On higher level, Bhakti ye Krishna nam. Smaran. Krishna Smaran. How many of you remembered Krishna 8 times and Radharani 8 times when you chanted now this Hare Krishna? How many remember? No. So Smaran did not happen. This is a higher level of bhakti. When you chant offenselessly, you automatically Hare means Radharani, Krishna and Ram means Krishna. Bhakti Krishna Nama Smarana Krandan, crying for Krishna. Prabhupada said it's like a small child crying for mother. And Hara connects him to Supreme Father, Hari. So this is what is our process. And he had reached all the conclusions of the scripture. And not only he reached there, Mahaprabhu only reached, Krishna only reached there and embraced him. Gave him Krishna praying. So, scrutinizing study, that scholastic approach will not help. A scholarly approach. That will not, that may be jnana beach in our hearts sometimes. Just because Prabhupada wanted me to read this book, I'm going to read. I'm a muff, I'm a fool, I'm a duffer, I'm unintelligent. I don't have brain only. Something is there in here, but in that knowledge is present. But I will read this book. The Prabhupada wants me to read. He sacrificed night time sleep for me while writing these books. I will sacrifice at least daytime sleep. So Krishna will give that intelligence. The Dami Buddhi Yogamata. Not the intelligence by which you will just understand the book subject matter, but you will go back to Krishna also at the end of your life. And before, all throughout life, you will be Krishna consciousness. So scholarly approach is okay. Then that there are so many tips. You can underline, you can highlight, you can paragraph wise, you can make titles. The proper disciples are already made of Bhagavatam, we can see. Like few pages. This is the theme. Like that. But you can make it page wise also, you can make it paragraph wise also. Sumudini is there. A million ways of reading. So called in a scrutinizing way. But the topmost is taking the instruction of the spiritual master to heart. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Jitete Koriya Aikya Arana Kori Mane Asha. Bas. This is a formula for scrutinizing study in one sense. You all are scholars. Krishna given intelligence is there. You just go on reading. First you read. And then keep reading. That will automatically turn into scrutinizing the reading. Any other?
In the beginning of the lecture, we heard that there are 4 parampara and from Brahma is our parampara, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then again told the same message again. But we also said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the one who established the philosophy of Achintya Vedaved. So before that, there was not Achintya Vedaved or what?
It was there, but so precisely nobody had put it that way. They had the audience also who were quite great devotees. And as far as materialistic people, as far as Madhavendra Puri goes, he would not even go through cities and towns. He would go through jungle only. So, because he did not want to interact with materialistic people. Our Acharya is different, Acharyas have different moods. So, thus Madhavendra Puri in one sense never came across materialistic people. Similarly, he did not write any books. Same thing with Ishwar Puri did write Krishna Lilambre, but otherwise not much.
And how in the Madhvacharya was also in our his Bhashya is written in different philosophy. So in same parampara.
No, it is not that he refuted Mayavad anyway. So we also refute. Achinta Bhed Abhed. Abhed, Bhed means there is a difference between Jiva and the Supreme Lord. So that way we are following Madhvacharya only. But on the as far as quality goes, we are same. There is no difference. Which Madhvacharya also said, but he basically focused on refuting Mayavad like anything. Mayavad is Shatatushani. 100 faults in Mayavad. He wrote. Even the Mayavadis may not know that these faults are there. उनको इतना philosophy नहीं भी होता पता होगा इसमें 100 fault निकाले जाते हैं वो माधवाचार्य को पता है और devotees are very expert. Yes, any other?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, if anyone says that I will not take because I am non-vegetarian, when I was distributing sometime, this incident happened. Then what should we should take?
I can say that you are non-vegetarian, but you have to breathe also. You have to drink water. Likewise, this transcendental knowledge is for everyone, whether he is having so-called pious life or impious life. It's like breathing is compulsory for everyone. So like that, this knowledge is also required. Without this, one cannot survive. And then you, after reading the books, you see what is supposed to be the proper course of life. But it is for everyone. I have distributed books to some in the side upper berth of train. One person was eating that, I don't know what, biryani or something in that. The leg of hen is there. He had everything, and exactly after showing this, when I showed to him, he had that piece in his. He was like, no. थोड़ा पायस था वो, impious पायस था. Very awkward, अरे ये सारे मारा करती है. तो मैंने देखा, मैंने शुरू मेरा तो अपना नॉन स्टॉप टाइम भी नहीं है, कवर करना है पूरा ट्रेन. I kept speaking, sir, this, and then he said, sir, I'm not pure. I said, no problem. With your left hand, you can see. This is okay. Yeah. So वो रख दिया नीचे, उसको उतना तो था. Then with left hand, he took. He showed that he turned the pages and all that, and I was explaining meanwhile. So he liked the book, and then he took the book. And there are many vegetarian people who did not take them. It has nothing to do. They are innocent materialists who might be engaged in sin because of their ignorance. So it is your duty to give them knowledge, enlighten them, and then they'll automatically give up sinful activity eventually. There are envious, there are others. They will not say, what nonsense, you know. What is this? Do you have pass or whatever ticket of this train? How dare of you to distribute these books? They will complain about it. So they are envious people. To them we should avoid. But pious materialists we should approach, even if they are engaged in simple activities. Any of them?
One it is also about material condition. I have so means what I have observed that in suppose like we are in Pune, so here is everything in supposed to be nice or feeling nice for me. So I can perform the devotion service at least on steadily. But like the ISKCON devotees in Bangladesh, so there's so much chaos there. Their material is not very good, so they are not able to perform their activities also daily. So
no, who told? Yesterday, thousands of devotees in Bangladesh did not chant 16 now.
They chanted, but there is so much disturbance. So
that way, material world is always disturbance, place of disturbance. Padam padam yat, vipadam. Here you are disturbed by who is going to win, BJP or Congress. Your mind is wandering more, and those devotees they are praying to Krishna. Krishna, please protect the deities and all. Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Ram. They are much better maybe chanting, and we may be stressed out fellows. Possibilities there. See, advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower, not on the surroundings. You may be in nice surroundings and you may be cozy and you may be wondering, oh, पता नहीं बीजेपी की कांग्रेस, बीजेपी या कांग्रेस. अब जब कर रहे हो बीजेपी और कांग्रेस का. हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र नहीं. और बांग्लादेश वाले सभी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे. They are not for any political party. Whether Muslim political party or Hindu political party, they are for Krishna.
Not actually.
एक एग्जाम्पल के लिए इलेक्शन वगैरह बताया ना, तो ऐसे बहुत सारे ना. आपका हो सकता है कैंपस इंटरव्यू सुबह से लेकर आप वही सोचा है प्रभु ने क्या बोला कैंपस सिलेक्शन यहाँ पैसा तो कुछ मिलेगा नहीं. There are millions of topics which can distract. All the time there are millions of topics. Whichever you focus on, that becomes a big problem for you.
The ideal condition at chanting is that we should constantly remember on the Hare and Krishna.
You should chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Here attentive. Tongue and ears. Prabhupada said two things in it, three things: upper lip, lower lip, and tongue. Now all of you close your lips and chant with your tongue inside your mouth. Hare Krishna Mahamudra. Now you use only lips. Tongue will be floating inside the mouth. Don't touch anywhere. And with your lips you chant Hare Krishna. So three things are on the lip: upper lip, lower lip, and tongue. If you want two more exercises, your lower lip and your tongue, you chant now Hare Krishna. Now upper lip and tongue, you chant Hare Krishna. So three things are required: upper lip, lower lip, and tongue. That's what he has about. That is there for Bangladesh devotees also. No need to become frantic. This material, that's what Bhakti Thakur said, na? Ups and downs will always be. You cannot stop it. Material world is dukkha.
Here also it can happen.
Yeah, here also it will. Maybe that time you will be more intense devotee. Now you are happy and Hare Krishna prasad मिल रहा है. So जब मैं सोकर भी जब प्रसाद मिलता है तो क्यों नहीं, वो लोग सो ही नहीं सकते. उनको पता है कभी भी अटैक हो सकता है. Very attentively chanting. They are praying to the Lord also. The deity whatever. All of these Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram. और हम तो क्या ऐसे इधर उधर देख रहे हैं. क्या है महाप्रसाद रखा है क्या होता है? Let's spaced out for this. So advancement doesn't depend on anything external. It depends. It's an inner thing. Yes. Any next question? Anybody online? Does anyone have a question there?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Rajat Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Ask your question.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I was just asked, you were telling Jared that. So when we meet anyone on road, so suppose we are meeting him, in future we will not again meet him. So what Krishna Udesh we should give? Like
What?
that we will see.
We should at least ourselves chant loudly. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. This is summum bonum. This is the sum total of all the preaching. You induce a person to chant Hare Krishna. But if not, at least he heard Hare Krishna mantra from your mouth. So keep chanting 24 hours loudly. I would do that in my college days also, because this Bharati hospital is there, and behind there is nursing hospital, I think. In between gap was there, and that was shortcut to my Bharati Vidyapit college. I was staying in the Voice, which is in Krishna Kamal apartment, in my final year. So that was a shortcut. I would not go by main road because like this you go. Why to like this only you go, not straight. It was a field area. I would go through that. And while going through that, some person would be coming rarely. That time it was not such a busy area. The person would become anxious. I would understand this person is going this way. I'm going this way to college. I don't have time also. So he should be given Krishna somewhere. So what I should do? So I would chant loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. I would be watching. Yeah, well, let's see. Sometimes I would sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In one sense, I did not preach to him, but I preached to him the essence of all the preaching. Hare Krishna answer. So that's what we have to do. If we are not having time for some individuals, because you are going for some other activity. Still keep chanting, they will be very good. Okay? Over, no? So should we end? Is your next question, when are you ending? It's very hard question for me to answer. But with reluctant heart, heavy heart, I do answer that question. Because nobody is asking any question in their mouth. To say. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution Marathon ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Books ki jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Go Premanande.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Such a great privilege to hear from Prabhuji. Initially spoke how in our parampara book distribution has been our family business, and then how Prabhupada he struggled so much in not only just printing, he was a one-man army in the army of Lord Chaitanya, Sankirtan army. So, and then it started all, and now so many devotees all around the world are getting benefited because of this transcendental activity of book distribution. And then how strong sadhana is so important, specifically reading, hearing, chanting. Prabhu personally exemplifies both these activities, that is book distribution as well as a strong sadhana. We derive a lot of inspiration from Prabhuji's personal example, and it was very nice to hear from Prabhuji. Let's thank Prabhuji by once loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare.
Hope you all are very much inspired, and now who's next 1.5 month distribution. Many of them they have, some of them have taken pledges also. Yeah,
And you are all my masters. I think the dust of the lotus feet of all those have taken pledges.
Pledges of around 500 books or something.
500 books.
I think 150. In Chhattisgarh में
आप सब बाहर चले जाओ, आपके कपड़े मुझे दे दो, मैं धो दूंगा। बोलते ना तुम लड़ो, हम कपड़े संभालेंगे। तो आप बुक्स का वितरण करो, वो लड़ाई है, और मैं कपड़े धो दूंगा। तो उसमें टाइम पास नहीं होना चाहिए। I'll wash your clothes. I mean it. बड़ा टाइम जाएगा मेरा, नो प्रॉब्लम। आसान उदास।
आज के टाइम में बहुत सारे लोग ऑनलाइन पढ़ना ज्यादा प्रेफर करते हैं।
तो है ना हमारे वो ट्रांसेंड एक ऐप है, 7,000 रुपीज है। उसमें in 2 devices you can get all the books of Prabhupada, e-books and audio books both. आप वो डायरेक्टली उसको आप करो, आप उसको भी स्कोर आता होगा पूरा बीबीटी को पूछो, आना तो चाहिए। सब बुक्स दिए थे एक साथ, आना तो चाहिए मेरे ख्याल से। पूछ लो, और 7,000 रुपये भी मिले ना बीबीटी को मिले, पूछ लो एक बार सर्वेक्षण तो बताओ, तो वो भी चलेगा। लेकिन वो अच्छा हो जाएगा आपका, एक दिन में एक गया आपका स्कोर 7,000 हो गया, वही 2 मिल गए तो 14,000 हो गया, डबल स्कोर। You will really double it. You can ask, maybe. It is there. And it's good, na? Person at once get all books of Prabhupada, whichever language you want. Odia, Marathi, Hindi, English. So you will find out and let you know. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anybody wants books? नहीं, हमारे ऊपर ऑलरेडी प्लेज दूसरे है, इसका स्कोर नहीं आएगा। आपका स्कोर हो जाएगा, हमारा स्कोर नहीं।
So all devotees can stay back. We have a pledging of the remaining devotees.
Hit when it's hot. अभी hot है तो तुरंत प्लेज निकाल लो सबसे बाहर। अभी शाम तक सब भूल जाएंगे। क्या सुबह क्लास कौन सा था क्लास? मैं नहीं पता क्या हुआ।
ऐसा बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करता है, कैसे एज भी मैटर कर सकती है।
एज?
हाँ, जब हम वृंदावन जा रहे थे मतलब ट्रेन में जब बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे थे तब ऐसे एज एज स्टूडेंट थे कि वो बहुत ग्रांटेड ले रहे थे और वो ऐसा बोलते थे कि यार आप पढ़े वगैरह कुछ नहीं करते गए क्या कर रहे हो।
तो बताओ ना, हम पढ़ाई करते भाई, हम इंजीनियर्स हैं, हम थोड़े ना ऐसे ही टाइम पास कर रहे हैं। और फिर आप इंजीनियरिंग का भी कुछ बता दो उनको चाहिए तो।
ऐसे
इसके
भाई
अलावा आप इसका भी बता दो, संस्कृत में कुछ श्लोक बोल दो, उनको समझेंगे अरे हम तो बिल्कुल कुछ जानते ही नहीं, क्योंकि नॉलेजेबल है। इसको सॉम टॉम भी पता है, एलिमेंट्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग, एलिमेंट्स ऑफ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग, और इसको ये भी पता है। दे विल बी इम्प्रेस्ड, यू शुड स्पीक ना, नो मैटर व्हाट दे से, यू कंटिन्यू स्पीकिंग, व्हाई शुड यू स्टॉप स्पीकिंग? They will make fun, they will on different grounds they will ridicule you, but you should keep speaking. In fact, their point only should be picked up, and on that only you should speak so amazingly, they will be stunned. जैसे किसी ने आपके ऊपर बॉल फेंका, आपने उसको पकड़ करके खट करके उसको ही वो तो असावध था ना, उसको पता है, उसने लगा कि आपको लगेगा, आपने खट करके पकड़ के खट करके उसको फेंक।
तो इस प्रकार का किया रहता है तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के टाइम
नहीं, वही फियर चला जाएगा। शुरुआत में क्या करो, जो सीजन्ड डिवोटी है बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर उनके साथ जाओ। जैसे मैं भी शुरुआत के दिनों में ऑलरेडी बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर उनके साथ जाता था, क्योंकि वो जो बस में सबके सामने कैसे का बुक दिखा आना, वो तो आएगा नहीं। क्या करते थे, ही वुड कैरी बुक्स, मैं तो उसका असिस्टेंट था, मैं खाली बुक्स कैरी करता था। देन ही वुड एंटर एंड वो मुझे बोलता था कि पीछे जाओ, तुम बस के पीछे। तो सब लोग आगे देख रहे हैं ना वो बस में, तो मैं पीछे जाके खड़ा हूँ, और ये पूरा अनाउंसमेंट करते थे, सो हरे कृष्णा, ये वो सब ये है। तो अभी हम दोनों हैं, तो वो पीछे से दिखाएंगे और मैं आगे से दिखाऊंगा, हम आपको बुक्स दिखाएंगे, जिनको चाहिए लीजिए वगैरह। तो वो करता था अनाउंसमेंट, और फिर मैं पीछे से आगे आगे आता था, वो आगे से पीछे पीछे आता था और मैं दिखाता था वगैरह। और फिर ऐसे करते हम जहाँ मिलते थे वो एंड हो गया, सब कवर हो गया, बस हम दोनों उतर जाते थे। फिर से अगले बस में वो सामने से अनाउंसमेंट हो गया। फिर ऐसे करते 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 धीरे धीरे मुझ में भी वो आ गया, थोड़ा हिम्मत किया है, हम भी कर सकते हैं। वैसे ही बस पार्टी में भी वो हमारा एक पावरफुल लीडर रहता था, वो ऐसा जबरदस्त हरे कृष्णा ये वाला जबरदस्त मराठी में प्रेसिंग करता था। और फिर उन्होंने बोला अभी अप्रूव आप करो, तो मैंने हरे कृष्णा आम्ही इस्कॉन मधून आलेलो आहोत। अरे ब्रो क्या बात कर रहे हैं, कोई जानवर भी नहीं देखेगा आपको। अरे कहाँ है इनकी तरफ, तो फिर वो फिर से लेके है ना, हरे कृष्णा आम्ही आलो आहोत आंतरराष्ट्रीय कृष्ण भावनामृत संघातर्फे। बोल पाऊंगा ना जोर से, कि वो माइक है ना ऑलरेडी, ना जोर से भी चिल्ला रहे थे, ये ट्रेंड नहीं है। बाद में मैं भी चिल्लाने लग गया माइक के ऊपर, ऑलरेडी एम्पलीफायर हो रहा है, फिर भी डबल एम्पलीफिकेशन। और हमारा ऐसे ऐसे अनाउंसर्स थे, माय गॉड, के अनाउंसमेंट्स में जहाँ जाते हैं हम, जैसे थ्योर वगैरह है ना, क्या वो रांजनगांव बीच में आता है ना नगर में, उधर जाके हमारा वैन जाएगा, बस पार्टी वगैरह पीछे का खोल जाएगा, और ये बुक लग के बोले ये अनाउंसमेंट इतना जोर से, मेरा नाम भी संदेश्वर गौर बहुत है, वो जोर से चिल्लाते, आप देख सकते हैं। उसका पूरा वीडियो शूटिंग करना चाहिए था 2 4 5 घंटे का, कि वो जब आने के पहले क्या लोगों जो वेंडर्स वगैरह है उनका क्या चल रहा है, विजिटर्स वगैरह, और अभी ये इस्कॉन का बस आता है, अभी ये शुरू करता है, 1 घंटे के बाद देखोगे ना, वो बाकी सब जो वेंडर्स है ना, वो सुन रहे इसका अनाउंसमेंट क्या बोल रहा है, वही बोल रहा है बार बार, इस्कॉन में भगवैता फक्त 50 रुपये फक्त 80 रुपये जे वॉट एवर इट इज गोइंग ऑन एंड ऑन एंड लाइक दैट, एंड देन आफ्टर 2 hours यू शुड सी दे आर लाइक यू नो वाचिंग एट हिम ओनली, उनका धंधा बंद हो गया है। फिर 3 घंटे के बाद वो एकदम शांत बैठे हैं बेचारे, इतना अनाउंसमेंट सुना उन्होंने। और फिर बाद में शाम को वो आएगा, वो कितने का बोला तो भगवैता देता हूँ, वो वेंडर ही भगवैता लेके जा रहा है पूरा। तो पूरा हमने वो कॉन्कर कर लिया पूरा, रांजनगांव गणपति पूरा बाहर गए, अंदर हम गए नहीं, कहीं नहीं। बाहर का पूरा एरिया हमने कॉन्कर कर लिया। अब वेंडर शांत, अपना ही आवाज आ रहा है एंड तक। वेरी फनी है, टिपिकल। सब जगह पे ऐसे होता था, जहाँ भी हम जाते थे ना, बस शुरू माइक लेके ऐसा दहाड़ते थे वक्त, ये सब वेंडर्स साइलेंट, और बाकी कस्टमर भी देख रहे हैं, वेंडर्स भी देख रहे हैं, अपना ही राज है बस। ये सब शांत, तो ये आएगी हिम्मत अपनी, करते रहेंगे तो आएगी, और पढ़ने भी चाहिए किस तरह से, देन यू नो हाउ इट इज। मुझे तो ट्रेन में बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में कितने सारे तकलीफें आती हैं, वो टीटी को कंप्लेन कर दे गए, हमारे एक कर्मचारी को तो ऐसे पकड़ के टीटी ने हट करके फेंक दिया, आता तो प्लेटफॉर्म पे गिर गए वो, बुक्स वगैरह गिर गई, उठा लिया उन्होंने, दूसरे बोगी में गए। मेरे भी सीनियर है अनिरुद्ध भक्तिचार्य महाराज के साथ। मैंने सुना कि भक्तिचार्य महाराज ने दीक्षा दी, पहले दीक्षा की क्या कहते हो जो था उनमें उनका दीक्षा हुआ था पहले बैच में, कितने सीनियर है 1984 में कुछ उनका दीक्षा हुआ। तो महाविद्याम ब्रो हरिदास ठाकुर को तो पीटा था, did not stop। तो वही है, इट्स वेरी कंपैशनेट एक्ट, दैट्स व्हाई भगवान को इतना प्रसन्न है ना, जो भी प्रचार करेगा इज मोस्ट डियर टू द लॉर्ड। अच्छा तस्मान मनुष्य उसके समान कोई भी मुझे प्रिय नहीं, उससे अधिक भी कोई, ये सबसे अधिक प्रिय है। इतना चैलेंजेस जीसस क्राइस्ट क्रूसिफाइड, तो ऐसे होना चाहिए, वो आएगा अपने स्ट्रेंथ। द मोर यू प्रीच, मोर यू टेक इन कृष्णा, मोर यू गिव आउट, इट विल कम। नाही अजून घंटाभर लागेल, तासभर लागेल.